Greetings, cretins and degenerates of the internet. Welcome to Swoopchat, a small YouTube channel where we talk about dumb stuff. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, listen to that lo-fi chill beats as we get straight into today's topic. Hello everybody, welcome to episode 1 of Swoopchat. So today I thought we would take a sit back, have a bit of coffee, relax, and talk about some awkward situations. Now, we've all been in awkward situations. I'm sure one of you out there has, maybe been in a supermarket when you're young, and you go to a trolley thinking it's your dad, and you're wondering, why does my dad have oranges? You pluck out the orange and you realise, it's not your dad, it's some big, hairy African dude who stares at you as if he's going to punch you in the face. He's not your dad, no, he's someone else. Your dad is just on the next aisle, picking up some other things. Yeah, we've all been in those situations, and today I would like to share with you my cringeworthy experiences growing up in some awkward situations I unfortunately still remember, even though some of them happened, 12 years ago. Starting off, awkward situations. I think the earliest awkward situation I remember, the most is in year 7 in secondary school. Back then I was a bit of a a bit of a clown, I guess you can say an epic prankster. Anyway, so back then, I was a bit of a prankster, sort of like person, just making jokes, goofing around, goofs and gaffs, all harmless fun. And, conveniently enough, as this happens, a talent show is coming up next week, and my friend comes to me and he's like, "Oh, you're so funny, you should be a comedian." That was, of course, the worst choice of my life, to think that I could be a comedian on a talent show. So, there's me. 11 years old, little squat I am, just thinking to myself, oh yeah, I'll be funny. Just on a stage in front of 100 people, thinking I'm a comedian. No. No, it was not funny. So, yeah, I wrote a, what you're supposed to call a script, a routine, if you will. And, it didn't go very well. I was on stage making funny, hilarious jokes, all original, of course, not stolen from other famous comedians. Now, original jokes, to give you a little bit of perspective, I survived maybe 30 seconds. And then I did the wise, noble thing, and I decided to walk myself off stage, because no one else was going to do it for me, so I just, walked off stage. And, in front of an audience of 100 people. Yeah, it wasn't very fun, and I have the pleasure of remembering it ever so often, think to myself, I'm funny, and yeah, it's very awkward. These stupid things happen, when you're a kid, really. You think you might be good at, athletics. Oh yeah, the hurdles, oh yeah, easy, but then when you do it, you just crunch your nuts on the hurdle, and you collapse, and then you go into a 3-day coma thinking to yourself, why did I do that? Why did I decide to risk my bollocks to jump maybe an extra few centimeters above a hurdle? We all go through that stage. It's very unfortunate, I think. But it gets worse. I remember one time, it was a few years ago, actually, when I moved to another secondary school. I think it was around about 2011, I think it was, yeah. Early, mid-2011, I moved to another school, and it was in one of those, chavvy areas, let's say, chavvy areas. We're talking, yes, tracksuit wearing, Londoner sort of chavs, I don't know what you would call them in Australia. I think they're called bogans. Maybe in the US they're called hoodlums? I don't know. But yeah, it was a bunch of those, and it was on a bus, and the cool kids sat at the back, and they was like, oh hey, it's the new kid, let's get him, let's see what he's like, let's see if he's one of us, a chav. No, I'm not one of you, my friends. So I went up to them, and they're like, oh, they're getting to know me, it's all good, it's all calm, it's all good. They're like, oh, what do you like? You like music, you like games, FIFA, of course, FIFA, and nothing else. I'm like, oh yeah, I like a bit of music, rock, rock, just anything I could think in my head, any like scrambled parts I could put together and call a musical interest. Because back then I didn't really have a musical interest, so I just went along with what everyone said. And oh boy, they were like, oh, do you like rap? Like Eminem, Snoop Dogg, all that sort of stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know any of these people back then because I was pretty much an introvert, and I had no clue what popular culture was. So that's an interesting fact. But basically, it ended up with me trying to rap, like not like sort of like like proper rhythmic verses, words that rhyme, like epic diss tracks. I said epic again. Oh, I need to stop. Like nothing like that, nothing to make. It was just like literally whatever came to mind, and of course I had to put on this really cringy voice to act like I was a chav who knew how to rap. So I started talking like this, where, I started to really sound like a cringy fucker. And just imagine that voice trying to rap without any sense of how rap is supposed to work for a solid minute. And I didn't realize how awkward it was until I looked at everyone on the bus, who were in dead silence, staring at me like in disbelief. And then I decided to give up that day and realize I was not a professional SoundCloud rapper, and I suppose I never will be. Probably for the best, to be honest, because Jesus Christ, oh god, why did I have to remember that? Oh, but one more awkward situation, one more. Just to get it out there. Something more recent happened. I think it was in college about a year and a half ago. It was quite alright. I was older, I was less cringy. I am like how I am now. I mean, I'm still cringy and horrible at anything, but that's aside the point. Back then it was a little bit better, I think. And I was in a maths class at college, because I can't do maths to save my own goddamn life. Like, oh yeah, how many slices does this pizza have? Oh, it has 2. No, it has 8.
Pizza time.
Go away. I was in maths. I don't really care about maths. Who cares about maths unless you're a fucking nerd? Just kidding. Do whatever you want. And, oh boy. Like, when you're in a college lesson, you just kind of put in music in your ears and just do your thing, Imagine that. Just listening to music for a minute before realizing someone taps you on the shoulder, and you realize that you're not listening to the music through your headphones. You're listening to it through the speaker on your phone for a full minute in the middle of a silent, hard-working maths class with the teacher just staring into your soul through your very eyes. Now, this wouldn't have been bad if the music was, I don't know, something relevant. What was relevant like 2 years ago? Everyday Bro, I think, Jake Paul, I don't fucking know. But it was like unconventional music, like music that wasn't really music. It was just like crap. It was like an ensemble of noises that I liked, and I thought, oh, this is good music. It was not music, it was crap. So imagine listening to that like noise for a minute in a maths class with a teacher staring at you, and then you just realize to yourself, oh, haha, great, I've made a fool of myself again, for like the 500th time in your life. And I remember oh god, I remember I was just like frozen in anxiety. Like, I got my headphones and I just like crumpled them up and I just ripped them apart, you know? Because it was just like, what do I do now? My life is over. I need to go hide in a cave in the mountains and be a goblin and never show my face to anyone ever again. But, yeah. You know, these things happen. You do awkward things. You can't help it. You know, you're cringy when you're a kid. You're also cringy when you're, 21 years old and still learning what things are and whatnot. But I suppose that's the point of experience, you know. If we didn't have these cringy things, we wouldn't have learned from them in the first place. So I think that's going to do it. A nice little chat, little ramble thing, so I need to get off my mind because of, anxiety and what even is sleep. So, I hope you enjoyed this little talk, I suppose. Remember, I'm always here, uploading, new channel, new stuff. So, with that being said, have a nice day, night, whatever. I'll see you soon.